At the moment, life is very different to what we are used to. The current global pandemic has radically changed the world around us. Particularly as a young person, thinking about the future can be daunting. However, we need to remember that decisions made by today's leaders will have a huge impact on how we live the rest of our lives. That is why it is vital that we, as young people, engage in these decisions with optimism and strength. On Tuesday the 15th of September, the third Nelson Mandela Youth Leadership Summit will take place. The theme of this year's summit is young people leading with optimism through the pandemic and beyond. We are encouraging young people to come together and talk with leaders from the fields of science, commerce, business, education, and diplomacy. The exceptional array of guest speakers include Dr. Amanda Caples, Victoria's lead scientist, Michael Klein, the US Consul General to Melbourne, Andrew Compston, the State Director of the Department of Foreign Affairs and Trade, Karen Sobels, the President at the Victorian Chamber of Commerce and Industry, Ken Murray, Educator and Campus Principal at the Wanganui campus of the Greater Shepparton Secondary College, Margaret Hepworth from the Gandhi Experiment, and Victor Purton, the Chief Optimism Officer from the Centre for Optimism. We're inviting you to learn from their experiences, hear what they have to say on the topic of leadership and optimism, and to offer your own insights as a young leader. As young people, we can utilise our passion and optimism to help pave the path forward. We are the next generation of thinkers, leaders, and activists. And through the Nelson Mandela Youth Leadership Summit, we have the opportunity to actively participate in these discussions. Have your voice heard and sign up today.
Hi, my name is Victoria and I am school captain from St. George's Road Primary School. I am really excited for this Nelson Mandela Summit because it builds up networks, leadership, and confidence.
Victoria, what makes you optimistic?
I just start looking at the down things of life and I get a lot of support from my family members, my friends, and my teachers and my mentors.
Why should people come to this summit?
Because you're going to experience a whole lot of different things and it'd be a great way to become more optimistic.
What would you like to tell everyone?
What makes you optimistic? By coming to this summit, it will be a great way for you to start being more optimistic.
Right now, the world is very different to what we are used to. The global pandemic has changed life as we know it. As a young person, I know that it can be particularly daunting to think about the future. But decisions made by today's leaders will continue to impact our lives for years to come. That's why it's so important that we continue to engage with those decisions with strength and with optimism. On Tuesday, 15th of September, the third Nelson Mandela Youth Leadership Summit will take place. The theme for the summit is young people leading with optimism through the pandemic and beyond. We encourage you to come together with leaders in the fields of science, diplomacy, business, commerce, and education to learn from them and give your own insights. The exceptional array of speakers for the event include Karen Sobels, President of the Victorian Chamber of Commerce and Industry, Dr. Amanda Caples, Victoria's lead scientist, Michael F. Klein, the USA Consul General of Melbourne, Andrew Compston, State Director of the Department of Foreign Affairs and Trade, Ken Murray, Educator and Campus Principal at the Wanganui campus of the Greater Shepparton Secondary College, Margaret Hepworth from the Gandhi Experiment, and Victor Purton, the Chief Optimism Officer for the Centre for Optimism. Learn from their experiences, hear what they have to say, and give your own insights as well. As young people, we can utilize our passion and optimism to help pave the path forward. We are the next generation of leaders, thinkers, and activists. And through the Nelson Mandela Youth Leadership Summit, we have the opportunity to actively participate in these discussions. Sign up today and have your voice heard.
Hi everyone, so my name is Sumaili and I'm just here to talk to you about the 3rd Nelson Mandela Youth Summit, organised by Future Voices and the Gandhi Experiment, held on Tuesday the 15th of September. So this year's theme is titled Young People Leading with Optimism Through the Pandemic and Beyond. And as a young person studying online in these unexpected times, it is quite difficult to stay motivated and optimistic about the future. However, as a Future Voice alumni, I want to share a bit of my experiences within the organisation and how it has solidified my passion for law. Just like any other young person, you attend school and to some extent you have an idea on what you want to become. But just like the majority of us, you have no idea how to get there. You lack connections and exposure to the industries you want to work in. However, within this program, you'll be exposed to various industries, people and opportunities, and most importantly, you will acquire knowledge and skills that will fundamentally prepare you for the future. I cannot emphasize that enough. If this interests you, come along and participate within the summit and hear from prominent speakers such as Dr. Amanda Caples, Victor Pertron, Margaret Hepworth, Karen Sobels, Consul General Michael Kieran, and Andrew Cupston. Hope to see you there on Tuesday the 15th of September. Bye for now.
What makes you optimistic?
Hello all, it's Natalie Foeng here, CFO of Yarra Valley Water. What makes me optimistic is surrounding myself with people who have a positive view of the future. Optimism is a choice. It's a choice of whether you see the world as an upside or a downside. This pandemic we are facing brings about a whole heap of new opportunities. It's not a matter of survival, it's a matter of thriving. It's not a failure, it is certainly more of a learning. And it's not a challenge, it brings about lots of opportunities. So together we can speak this positive future into existence. And to be successful as a leader today, it really is about surrounding yourself with positive voices. Even better if it's your own.
What are the big issues needing young leaders to step up?
Well, there are many issues for us to tackle. And what I find really helpful are the Sustainable Development Goals, which serve as a reminder really of what's important to us as a human race. There are 17 Sustainable Development Goals, and it kind of acts as a blueprint for me in terms of guiding us towards a better future, a more sustainable future for all of us. And businesses now are having to think beyond just the financials. So they're having to think about the decisions and the choices that they're making and really justifying what value they are creating in an economic, an environmental and a social sense. So Australia is currently ranked 38th of around 162 countries around the world with its progress on the Sustainable Development Goals, and there's certainly more work that can be done. Some of the areas of challenge include the all-important topic of climate change, and we know that there certainly is more that can be done by businesses to contribute towards a much more energy efficient, environmentally friendly, a more sustainable world. And what policies do we need to be able to support that in our country? Then there's the all-important topic of gender equality as well. We know that more diverse voices at the table, having greater women participate and influence in decision-making and choices that businesses and organisations make in leadership roles can make a difference. Good for people, good for performance and good for planet. And last but not least in my mind, there is one other area which is important for us at the moment, and that is the topic of responsible consumption and production. It's something that we all as consumers in our everyday lives can influence, and it's something that businesses need to be thinking about when it comes to what they bring to the table.
How did your young leadership set you up for what you are doing today?
Yes, that's a great question. I've always been a bit of a risk taker, so embracing the opportunities and having the breadth of roles in my career has really put me in good stead for where I am today. So, really encourage you to get out there and get some real experience out in industry And knowing what your purpose is in all of that is super important. Some of the greatest mentors and leaders that I've ever worked for have taught me one thing, and that is that the technical stuff you can always learn, and it's not the technical stuff that really drives success. What it is actually your values, and also understanding why you get out of bed each day. What is your purpose and what do you survive for? And starting out in industry for me was really not a matter of being at my computer each day. It was about getting out and being out in the field. So really like a human sponge. I walked the factory floors to learn where products were made and how they were made. I learned about the supply chain and how it got from the factory through to the table in our household. And also being out in the shop front, listening to customers and staff out, serving the community. So that's all really important because it's like collecting data. When you've got all this insight, you can then step back from it and really make some choices around how can I make things better.
What would a young person study and need to do what you do?
So finance leaders of today have typically come from grassroots business, commerce and accounting degrees. What I would say though in today's world is that leaders actually benefit immensely from real life experiences, and so it's the combination of those education foundations and discipline complemented with those experiences out in industry which really put us in good stead to lead our organisations. And the CFOs of today really are not just about being commercially savvy or financially focused. It really is also about being strategic, being able to be a catalyst and influence different outcomes across the business. And it's something that requires great communication skills and people skills. And so you need to be able to be in a mindset of stepping away from your office and being a business partner to the organisation, having a seat and a voice at the table. But also, importantly, sustainability has to be on the agenda because investors, shareholders, customers and community, they're demanding something different these days, and it's not just about the profits or the dividends. It really is about what other value are we generating for the environment and society and the community as well. Most importantly in all of that, it's to be true to yourself. So what I found really helpful is to stay human and be authentic in your leadership. If you can be yourself throughout all of this and stay true to your passion and what your values say, then it will put you in great stead.
Good morning and welcome. My name is John Cortese. I'm Principal of Notre College. I thank you for the opportunity of saying a few words in Shepparton's third Nelson Mandela Youth Leadership Summit. I think the theme this time is brilliant. The theme, young people leading with optimism through this pandemic and beyond. And we all need to go and live a life where we're going to challenge ourselves to do a great job as leaders. I was asked what makes me optimistic. I believe that all people have good things in them. I believe that in a crisis, we have a challenge to seek improvement, to do things better personally, and to learn something new. And I also have a belief that in reality, we're going to do things better and things will work out eventually. I was also asked what are the big issues that young leaders are going to face today. There is no doubt that the big issues are going to be around mental health and how we address that, social media, the respect that people have in society, the caring for others and the caring for the environment, and setting goals that are going to make your life better and make the life of the people in the world generally better. How did leadership when I was a young man, how did it help me to become what I am today? And I would say without doubt, the greatest opportunity that I had was that I had great mentors as a young man. They challenged me to try new things. And some of the challenges they threw my way were scary, but they believed that I was capable of doing it. So they had faith in my ability and I gave it a go. And I was supported magnificently by the mentors, whether I succeeded or failed. So be on the lookout for great mentors and have a yes mentality. That means accept challenges that are thrown your way and try your hardest to meet those challenges. And finally, I was asked, as a young person today, what are the things that people need to do? I would say the most important thing that you've got that you need to do is work out what you're passionate about. Work out what you love doing, work out what you like being involved in. And then when you've decided that, go and work really hard to make sure you do the very best that you can in that role. And at all times, seek guidance, seek help. And if you do that, you'll end up realising that you don't work a day in your life. You're just doing something that you're passionate about, that you love, and your life is going to be one glorious life. I wish you well through this summit. I wish you well through life in general. And I ask you to try your hardest at everything that you do. And whenever there comes a little bit of a hurdle, a little bit of a trip up in your way, give it your best shot to overcome it, and you'll find you have a magnificent life. Have a great day. Enjoy life.
G'day everyone. Thanks so much for tuning in today to this amazing event. Congratulations to Victor and to Rashidi for pulling this together and all the rest of the team. You've got some amazing speakers, so soak it all up. Young people leading with optimism through the pandemic and beyond. If you've turned up to this, you're already leading, you're already interested. Congratulations, well done. The guys have sent me some questions. So what makes me optimistic? To be honest, kids today make me optimistic. They're so much better, so much more engaged than when I was a kid. People tell you it was better in the old days. That is bullshit. You guys are amazing, and the things that kids are doing now under the pressures that they are under is phenomenal. You know, we have young people coming through in our business, and I can't begin to believe the capability and the careful and considered way they go about their decision making. Next question, what are the big issues needed young leaders to step up? That's a big question, and maybe I'd rephrase that and I'd say at an early stage of your leadership, the thing that you need to worry about most is making sure you've got your foundations right. You know, that you've got your moral compass, you understand your right and wrong, you're sure with yourself, and that you're doing things on a small scale that are right. And then the last thing is putting your hand up for something, for anything, where you're trying out your leadership. You don't have to know anything about it. No leader for the first time when they step out knows what they're doing. So it's about putting your hand up for the first time to try. And as you develop your leadership skills and you become more comfortable with who you are in your own skin and what's right and wrong, and you really need to focus on that. If you focus on those things, forget about the self-promotion and all the other leadership stuff. If you've got that moral compass stuff right, as life goes on, people will seek you out because they know you're solid on that and they will want to hear from you about that. What would a young person study today if they wanted to do what I do? Look, my advice about what you should study is find the thing that you are interested in and follow that with passion. You know, somebody that has chosen a difficult to get into a narrow field, but is the best at it, will have a highly successful and productive life. If you choose the thing that maybe is popular or you think that there is the way of the future because that's where the jobs are, but you're not interested in it, it's a waste of your time and capability and capacity. You've got this great opportunity now. Pick the thing you're passionate about, you're interested in, and be the best at that. That will allow you to be the most persuasive. And you can influence a whole range of worldwide things from almost any position. I run the most boring business maybe anywhere. We wash sheets and towels for hospitals and laundries and things like that. I mean, it is the most unsexy business in the world. Having said that, it's given me the chance. We employ 320 people. We've been able to be really involved in multiculturalism. We've been able to be involved in Indigenous affairs. I'm involved in community leadership. So really, I have just followed something I'm interested in, which is running businesses, and that has given me the opportunity. So that would be my advice to you. So listen up today, guys. Enjoy all the great speakers. I'm on Facebook. I'm on LinkedIn. If you ever want to chat about anything more or talk more about what I've done today, get in touch with me and I'm happy to chat.
Hi, I'm Wendy Lovell, the member for Northern Victoria Region, and I'd like to congratulate all of you on participating in the 3rd Nelson Mandela Leadership Summit. Leadership qualities are not something that we're naturally born with, but they are something that can be fostered in people. I was lucky to have the example of really great parents who taught me that if I wanted to live in a good community, I had to contribute to making that place a good community. My parents were leaders in business and community service, and I followed them into business and community service. I was that person on every fundraising committee, the person who advocated to politicians for better services and infrastructure in our town. From there, I progressed to a career in politics, to being the politician who actually made things happen. I've been fortunate to have a really great career and to have the honour of being a minister in government, a position that gives you the opportunity to really make a difference to people's lives. One of the things that I implemented as Housing Minister was a policy to have youth foyers in Victoria. We have one of those here in Greater Shepparton. These are facilities that actually change young people's lives. They give young people who are homeless, who are couch surfing, who are disengaged with education, the opportunity to have stable housing, to re-engage with their education and to build a better life for themselves. And I'm really proud of the achievements of our youth foyers, particularly the one here in Greater Shepparton that has given so many of our young people the opportunity to build a better life for themselves. But we don't only need leaders in politics, we need leaders at all levels of our community. In our sporting groups, our community service, our cultural groups, there are many opportunities to be leaders in Greater Shepparton. And as we come out of this global pandemic caused by COVID-19, there will be lots of opportunities to help our economy recover in Greater Shepparton as well. So we will need many leaders. I'm hoping that from you participating in today's Nelson Mandela Summit, that you will learn some of the skills that will enable you to be one of those leaders that not only helps us to recover from the pandemic, but who also goes on to make Greater Shepparton an even greater place to live. Thank you very much and good luck with the summit.